Everybody, welcome to Take 5. We're doing things a little bit different today. I'm Glenn Hausman. That's Sean Worker. Sean, this is going to be really fun because we have a guest today. We're going to be talking about innovation and adaption in the conference scene. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing to have Harry with us, especially he's the aggregator of the community and getting insight into how he's thinking about bringing that community alive again and meeting is, I'm just really looking forward to the conversation.
Well, let's bring him right in. We've got ourselves Harry Javer. He, of course, is the one who runs the Lodging Conference starting September 27th in Phoenix, one of my favorite events of the year. All right, Harry, it is my favorite event of the year. I just don't want other people to feel bad about this sort of thing. It's really been something where we all get together. It's an intimate, it's more of an intimate kind of an event, Harry. I feel like everybody's barriers are dropping. We could all be together, but that's not necessarily a good thing today. Sean, do you want to take it away from here?
You know, I know that it's incredibly hard to just restart a business. So, you know, just at the top of your head, what are 2 or 3 of the adaptions, innovations, or changes that you expect to launch not that far away?
Good question. So over the past 16 months, I guess, ever since the pandemic started, we have been adapting for different scenarios, scenario A, B, and C. And the protocols have changed not only every month, but every week, and often every 24 hours. So for example, social distancing, masking, temperature checks, vaccine passes. This was not part of our vernacular 16 years ago, and now we speak about it every day. So what we're doing is we are preparing for any scenario. As we speak now in what's the beginning of June, we're 4 months away. So perhaps 4 months from now, we won't have any protocols in place and it will be back to normal. But since we don't really know that, we're preparing for all of those different scenarios.
So that's got to be very difficult for you. You pride yourself on adapting and change. You innovate every single year in the conference. In fact, in 2019, you adapted by moving to an entirely different location for the first time in more than 2 decades. How do you balance figuring what you might have to do with what you surely have to do against all of this backdrop and change? How do you not go crazy?
You know, Glenn, it's really par for the course. I've been in the live event business for 40 years. So you just get used to it. You kind of map out, this is plan A. And if plan A goes wrong, what's plan B? And if plan B goes wrong, then what's plan C? And you go over all these scenarios with your team again and again and again. And then you just adapt to the situation. So we may have some virtual sessions. We may not have some virtual sessions.
Yeah, well, that makes a whole lot of sense to me, Harry. Are you finding that people are looking forward to coming back? The last time we spoke in May, you had said conference sales were going really good. What do you feel about that? How do you feel about the energy moving behind events taking place in the fall?
So demand for the lodging conference, for conferences in our space in the hotel industry, and really in any kind of live event business, whether you look at concerts or sporting events, demand is through the roof. And so I don't think we're going to have any problem attracting people. I recently went to a conference in Atlanta, the Hunter Hotel Conference, and the energy was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I expect the same thing, and I expect that to build. I think perhaps in the spring, some people were and are still on the fence to attending events. I think as we go through the summer and into the fall, that's just going to continue to pick up. If you look at prices for concert tickets in the fall or sporting events, they're already through the roof. So I really, you know, our numbers right now for the lodging conference, we are ahead of 2019, and that was our best year ever. So if you had asked me 3 months ago, would that have happened? No way. But here we are in June, we're tracking ahead of 2019.
So with being ahead, and it looks, would you say that you have more demand than you have some capability of and capacity?
No, I think we'll be fine because this particular property, the JW Marriott Desert Ridge, it's a bit larger. In 2019, we had about 2,300 people, and we purposely capped attendance because we weren't sure how many we could handle there comfortably. We were fine. So I think, you know, whatever the number is, we'll be able to handle it. will adapt.
Now, all this discussion about digital, hybrid, virtual, what are you doing with that type of environment? And are you adding technology, and are you expanding your capacity beyond the walls to those that can attend digitally?
So I kind of have mixed feelings on this, because this particular conference, the key is really face-to-face meetings, interaction, networking, which you can't really carry off very well digitally. Having said that, obviously all the Zoom meetings and digital conferences we've all been attending over the past year, it's top of mind for people. So I think what we will do is we will have some sort of digital element to the conference. People will be able to tune into a couple of general sessions. I'm deciding at this point, are we going to charge for that? Will it be free? Will it be sponsored? So there will be some sort of digital part to the conference, but the main focus will still be on the live event.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to adapting, Harry, when you're talking about adding a virtual component to the event, that's an interesting adaptation to me, because not saying you, but generally speaking, the conference industry, nobody wanted to do that because they were afraid that would keep people home. With people doing all these events, they realize that you can't fully create the trade show atmosphere in a virtual environment. Great for education, not so much for the networking and stuff that you said. So I think this opens up the opportunity now for you all to expand your brand beyond the walls of the conference, to help with the branding, to get people engaged in the event without actually hurting the in-person numbers. Would you agree?
Oh, I would totally agree, because not everybody can attend the event normally. For example, most of our attendees, 99%, come from the US.
That's right.
But I'm sure that there is an audience for the conference in Latin America, in Europe, in Asia, that normally are not coming to Phoenix, but now if they could find out that they can tune into the conference or tune into a few sessions on their own time, they certainly will.
Yes. And of course, the Lodging Conference is starting September 27th in Phoenix, Arizona. Harry, how could we learn a little bit more about how to attend that event?
So you could just go to lodgingconference.com. All the information's there. And I look forward to seeing everybody, including you gentlemen, in Phoenix on September 27th.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here, Harry. John, I've got to ask you, how do you wrap this all up?
Well, I think there's some core tips and takeaways. One, it's clear that people want to get on the move. I mean, if you go back to your Hunter experience, I think the first night was everybody out partying, understand how to breathe with each other again. So that's one factor. So I think Harry should be prepared for very, very busy bars. The second point is, I think it's interesting that Harry's observation that there is an audience that is geographically spread, and to be able to expand the business and bring in new eyeballs is a real opportunity that the event business should take some serious steps towards embracing.
That's
and
right.
It
forced the industry to kind of look at itself and realize that even if someone can't attend the conference, they can still participate. It doesn't mean that they will prefer to stay home. That is an important lesson we learn. We learn how important it is to be flexible, have A options, B options, C options in case something goes wrong. That relieves the stress, and that puts you in a better position to perform. Sean, this was a fun one today.
Yeah, this is a test and learn environment. So maybe somebody's going to test, go to the conference virtually, and next year is attend personally because it was a low risk, low budget. Now it's more about, I got to get there. So great way to expand the business.
That's right. Be sure to learn more about this event and other things that are happening in the world of adapting and innovation and travel, tourism, and hospitality at theadapters.net. So for Sean Worker and myself, Glenn Hausman, thanks for watching.